Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something that could shift everything you thought you knew about personal growth. What if I told you there was one method, just one, that could instantly start reprogramming your mind? Not in weeks, not in months, but starting right now. Imagine breaking free from years of self-doubt, hesitation, and negative thinking by learning a strategy so simple, yet so powerful, it changes the way your brain responds to fear, failure, and resistance. This isn't just another mindset tip, it's the foundation of transformation. Because the truth is, your life doesn't change when your circumstances change, it changes the moment your mind does. And in the next few minutes, you're going to discover the one way to flip that switch and take full control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your future. Stay with me, because once you understand this, there's no going back. Who's actually in control of your life right now? Is it really you? Or is it your past, your doubts, your fears, or the excuses you keep telling yourself? Because here's the reality. Most people believe they're steering their own lives, but in truth, they're being led by old patterns, outdated beliefs, and limiting thoughts. And if you don't step in and take control of your own mind, I can assure you something else will. It might be your environment, your circumstances, or even the people you surround yourself with, but here's the key. You have the ability to take back control. Not in a year, not in 6 months, not even in 30 days. I'm talking about real life-altering transformation in just 3 days. 3 days to reset your mindset, 3 days to gain control over your emotions, and 3 days to become mentally unstoppable. It's not about the length of time, it's about the decision you make. You don't need to spend years in therapy or retreat to a quiet mountaintop to find inner peace. You don't have to wait for life to hand you the perfect opportunity. What you need is to decide right now that you're in charge of your thoughts. And the very first step in this process is to take ownership of the words you use. The language you choose shapes your reality. It builds your identity, it influences your subconscious, either in your favor or against you. And here's what most people don't realize. Every day they speak their limitations into existence without knowing it. But that won't be you. Not anymore. From this moment on, you're going to take control of your mind, and it all begins with your focus. Your focus defines your experience. Whatever you concentrate on, you start to feel. Whatever you repeatedly think about, you begin to attract. And ultimately, whatever you give your attention to, you become. This isn't just a feel-good idea. It's backed by human psychology and years of research into behavior and success. Most people drift through life reacting to whatever happens, unaware that their own thoughts are shaping their feelings, their decisions, and their future. Your mind works like a camera lens. You decide where to aim it. If you focus on what's wrong, on what you don't have, or on why things are always hard, your brain will keep giving you more of the same. It's like putting the wrong address in a GPS. You'll always end up in the wrong place, but the reverse is also true. When you shift your focus to what's possible, to what you can improve, and to what you can actually control, your life starts to reflect that direction. Think about it. Have you ever wanted to buy a certain car, and suddenly you start noticing it everywhere? It's not that more of those cars appeared, it's that your brain was trained to spot them. That's your reticular activating system, RAS, at work. It filters the world around you based on what you focus on the most. Your ability to focus is a huge strength, but most people never learn how to use it properly. Instead, they let distraction, social media, the news, even other people decide where their attention goes. If you start your morning scrolling through negativity or comparing yourself to others, your mind is already on the wrong track. You're training your brain to look for what's lacking, what's negative, and what's going wrong, and the more you do it, the more you'll find it. But here's the empowering truth. You can take back that control at any moment. Right now, you can choose to direct your thoughts toward what empowers you, not what limits you. People who succeed don't rely on luck. They've learned how to manage their focus. They start each day by thinking about their goals, their vision, and the possibilities in front of them. They don't obsess over problems, they look for solutions. They don't get stuck in failure, they look for lessons and ways to grow. One of the most effective ways to shift your focus is through gratitude. When you focus on what you're truly thankful for, your entire emotional state changes. It's almost impossible to feel anxious, angry, or stressed when you're genuinely experiencing gratitude. Gratitude moves your focus from what's missing to what's present, and from scarcity to abundance. And the more you focus on abundance, the more of it you start to see. Another powerful technique is to ask better questions. Your brain is built to solve problems, so the quality of the questions you ask yourself each day determines the quality of the answers you get. If you constantly ask, "Why does everything go wrong for me?" your brain will give you reasons to justify that belief. But if you ask, "How can I handle this better?" or "What can I take away from this experience?" your mind starts searching for answers that move you forward. Think about the most successful and fulfilled people you know. They have the same hours in the day as you. The real difference? They've trained themselves to focus on progress instead of problems. They don't spend energy worrying about things they can't control. They focus on what they can change. Your focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the more natural it becomes. At first, switching from negative to positive might feel awkward, but over time, just like building physical strength, your mental discipline grows. And when you gain control over your focus, you start to manage your emotions better. When you control your emotions, your actions follow, and when your actions are aligned with your values, you gain full control over your life. Everything begins with your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself each day determines your mindset, your confidence, and how you show up in the world. That internal voice can either push you forward or hold you back. Most people don't even realize how deeply their self-talk affects their behavior. Take a moment to consider, how do you talk to yourself when things don't go as planned? Do you say, "I always mess things up," or "I'm just not good at this"? If you do, you're literally training your brain to believe those things, and as a result, you hesitate, you doubt, and you repeat those same habits. But remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them, and that gives you power. Every belief you hold about yourself was planted at some point by a parent, a teacher, a failure, but just because you've held on to it for years doesn't mean it's true. The only reason those beliefs still affect you is because you keep repeating them. So here's what to do: break the pattern. Every time you catch yourself thinking something limiting, pause, say stop out loud if you need to, and then replace that thought with something empowering. If your mind says, "I can't handle this," shift it to, "I'm capable and I'll find a way." If it says, "I always fail," reframe it to, "Every setback is building me up." At first, it might feel unnatural. That's okay. You've been reinforcing the old way of thinking for years. It will take time to install a new one, but the more you repeat positive, constructive thoughts, the more natural they become. One of the best tools for doing this is using affirmations. Words are powerful. The language you use, especially toward yourself, shapes your feelings, and those feelings shape your actions. Every morning, begin your day by speaking strong, intentional affirmations out loud. Don't say, "I hope today goes well." Instead, say, "I'm creating a great day." Replace "I'm not confident" with "I am powerful and unstoppable." To take your inner dialogue to another level, use incantations. Not just saying affirmations, but expressing them with energy. Stand up, engage your body, and speak with conviction. When you say, "I am strong, I am unstoppable," and you mean it, your brain begins to accept it. It's because emotion is the fuel that brings words to life. Consider elite athletes before a big game. They don't say, "I hope I perform well." They affirm, "I'm ready. I'm the best. I will dominate." They condition their minds for success, and what works for champions can work for you too. Another vital shift in your inner dialogue is to stop using weak language. Words like, "I'll try," "I hope," or "maybe" create uncertainty and weaken your mindset. Instead, speak with conviction. Use phrases like "I will," "I've decided," and "I'm committed." When you speak with certainty, your mind begins to respond differently. And remember, the people you spend time with influence your internal voice. If you're always around negative, complaining individuals, their words and mindset will affect yours. But if you surround yourself with driven, positive people who inspire growth, your self-talk will rise to their level. How you speak to yourself every single day matters more than you may realize. Change your words and you will change your life. Emotions are a choice, although most people assume they're controlled by their feelings. Many believe their emotions are automatic responses to external situations. But that's not true. Your emotions are shaped by three things: what you focus on, the meaning you assign to your experiences, and the physical actions you take. This means you can shift your emotional state in an instant when you understand how to manage those three elements. Think back to a time when you felt truly empowered, when you reached a goal, pushed through a challenge, or felt fully alive. What was different in that moment? Your focus was clear, the meaning you gave that moment was uplifting, and your body reflected your confidence. You didn't rely on the world to make you feel good. You created that feeling from within. If you've done it once, you can do it again. One of the biggest misconceptions people have is believing that emotions are caused by the outside world. You might say, that person made me angry, or this situation is stressing me out, or I feel stuck. But the truth is, emotions don't happen to you, they are created by you. Two people can face the same situation, yet one feels frustrated and the other feels motivated. Why? Because emotion comes from within, not from the situation itself. It's all about how each person processes the event. The first step in mastering your emotions is directing your focus. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. If you concentrate on your problems, you'll feel overwhelmed. If you dwell on what's out of your control, you'll feel helpless. But if you choose to focus on solutions, on progress, and on what's good in your life, your emotions will shift instantly. You cannot feel anxious and grateful at the same time. You can't feel fear while your mind is focused on courage. The moment you change your focus, your emotional state follows. The second step is to redefine the meaning you attach to your experiences. Nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning you choose to give it. If someone doesn't return your call, does that mean they're ignoring you or that they're just busy? If you fail at something, does that mean you're not capable or that you're learning and improving? The interpretation you give to events determines how you feel, and the best part is, you can shift that meaning at any moment. The third key is your physiology, how you move and use your body. Movement changes mood. Have you noticed how people who feel down often have slumped shoulders, shallow breathing, and tense expressions? Now think about someone who feels confident. They stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with energy. Your body posture directly influences your emotions. So if you want to feel better, start by moving differently. Stand tall, take deep breaths, and smile, and you'll notice your mood start to lift. Most people try to fix how they feel by waiting for external situations to improve. They wait for someone to lift their mood or for the right moment to be happy. But happiness isn't something you wait for, it's something you generate. If you want to feel strong, act strong. If you want to feel joyful, move like someone who's happy. If you want to feel empowered, shift your focus, reframe the meaning, and move with purpose. Learning to manage your emotions doesn't mean you ignore difficult feelings. It means you understand that you can control how you respond to them. It's about making the conscious decision not to let fear, worry, or frustration rule your life. It's about choosing to stay in a state that empowers you no matter what's happening around you. Once you realize your emotions are your responsibility, you'll never allow them to control you again. And a critical piece of this puzzle is removing negative triggers. Your surroundings are shaping your thoughts every single day. What you see, the people you spend time with, and the content you consume, all of it is influencing how you think and feel. Most people don't even realize it. They live in environments filled with stress, distractions, and negativity, and then wonder why they feel overwhelmed or unmotivated. If you want to take control of your mindset, you need to manage what's influencing you. The first step is identifying the triggers. Often, people are so used to their daily environment that they don't even realize how draining it is. Start observing what consistently pulls your energy down. Notice what makes you anxious, distracted, or discouraged. Is it endless scrolling on social media, constant exposure to negative news, or maybe a specific person in your life? Once you recognize the sources, you begin to regain control, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. The solution is to manage what you allow into your mind. Just like you wouldn't eat junk food all day, don't feed your brain harmful input. Be intentional with what you consume. Stop passively absorbing content that leaves you drained. Set time limits for social media. Unfollow people who bring no value to your life. If the news makes you feel powerless, take a break from it. Instead, focus on inputs that strengthen you. Read books that broaden your thinking. Listen to uplifting podcasts. Surround yourself with messages that fuel your growth. And most importantly, be mindful of your company. Toxic people are one of the biggest influences on your mindset. You start to resemble those you spend the most time with. Choose your circle wisely. If you're constantly surrounded by negative, complaining, and excuse-driven individuals, their mindset will inevitably influence yours. No matter how determined or inspired you may be, consistent exposure to pessimism will weigh you down. The energy of those around you either supports your growth or drains your motivation. That's why you must be intentional about who you allow into your space. If someone in your life constantly brings negativity, you have two options. Reduce your time around them, or shift how you engage with them. If reducing contact isn't feasible, then choose not to participate in their negativity. Instead of letting their mindset affect you, become the influence that uplifts them. Strengthen your mindset to the point where outside negativity no longer impacts your state of being. Your physical surroundings also play a major role in your mindset. If your home or workspace is messy, cluttered, or uninspiring, it creates inner tension and mental noise. Your environment reflects your mental state and influences it as well. Look around. Does your space support your goals or distract from them? If you want to feel focused and energized, you need a space that reflects clarity and intention. Clean, organize, and design your environment in a way that motivates and inspires you. Beyond space, your habits are another powerful set of triggers. Many people have unconscious behaviors that disrupt their mental clarity. It could be reaching for their phone first thing in the morning and getting hit with a wave of stress, or staying up late watching TV instead of preparing for the next day, or absorbing negative content without realizing the toll it's taking. The way to counteract these triggers is by replacing them with empowering alternatives. Instead of checking your phone first thing in the morning, start the day with gratitude. Rather than watching the news before bed, read something that elevates your mindset. Replace negative influences with people who challenge you to grow. You're not a victim of your surroundings. You can choose what influences your mind. When you remove negative triggers and replace them with positive ones, your energy shifts. You become more focused, more confident, and more in control of your direction. Use powerful affirmations. The words you say to yourself shape the world you experience. Repeated thoughts form beliefs, and those beliefs guide your confidence, your actions, and your outcomes. Many people don't realize that their internal dialogue is scripting their life. They let their thoughts run unchecked, repeating doubts, fears, and limiting assumptions. But your brain is like a computer. It follows the instructions it's given. If you want to change your results, you must change the programming. That's where affirmations come in. These are purposeful, empowering statements designed to reset your subconscious. They help you break away from limiting beliefs and replace them with constructive, uplifting messages. But here's the truth. Affirmations only work when they're delivered with full conviction and consistency. If you say them with hesitation or uncertainty, your mind won't accept them. You have to speak them with certainty and trust as if they're already true. Many people get this wrong by using passive statements like, "I hope to succeed," or "maybe I'll feel confident one day." Those are not affirmations, those are wishes. A real affirmation is spoken in the present tense with total belief. Don't say "I hope," say "I am." Don't say "maybe," say "I decide." Your subconscious mind accepts repeated thoughts as fact, so choose to speak in a way that leaves no doubt. If you've spent years telling yourself negative things, change won't happen overnight. Your current beliefs were shaped over time through repetition, and the same process applies to new, empowering ones. How did you develop your limiting thoughts? Most likely you heard them repeatedly or internalized them through experience. But the same way they were formed, they can be reprogrammed. Repetition is key. Just as you don't become physically strong with one workout, your mind requires daily training. Repeat your affirmations consistently. Write them down, say them when you wake up, say them before bed, and speak them whenever self-doubt appears. Make them a non-negotiable part of your routine. Your mind responds to the language you feed it. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess up," you're reinforcing those outcomes. But when you say, "I am capable, I am strong, I create success," your brain begins to align your actions to fulfill those truths. Affirmations are even more effective when they're supported by action. Saying, "I am confident" is powerful, but backing it up with bold decisions cements it. Saying, "I am disciplined" is empowering, but following through on your commitments brings it to life. Affirmations are the foundation, but action is what reinforces them. If you want real change, commit to using affirmations daily. Speak them with energy. Speak them with belief. Repeat them until they become part of who you are. Speak your future into existence. Use visualization to make those affirmations even more powerful. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined scenario and one that's real. That's why visualization is one of the most effective mental tools for achieving success. The world's top athletes, performers, and leaders use it to rehearse victory before they experience it. They mentally step into their success long before it shows up physically. And because they've lived it in their minds, their bodies follow. Most people live reactively, letting life happen to them. But visualization puts you in the creator's seat. When you visualize your goals each day, you train your brain to align with your vision. You start recognizing opportunities, taking meaningful action, and staying committed. When you visualize, don't just picture the outcome, feel it. Engage all of your senses. If you're visualizing financial success, feel the confidence and gratitude of having financial freedom. If you're visualizing yourself delivering a speech, don't just see the stage, hear the applause, feel the excitement, sense the pride. The more detailed and vivid the image, the more your brain believes it's real. Your subconscious acts like a thermostat. It keeps you operating at the level you've set. If your mental image of yourself is average, your results will stay average. But when you consistently visualize excellence, your subconscious begins to work toward that standard. It starts bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Some people doubt visualization because they confuse it with daydreaming, but imagination is the seed of reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every creation started as an idea in someone's mind. Your life works the same way. If you can see it clearly, you can build it. Make visualization part of your daily habit. Close your eyes each morning and mentally experience achieving your goals. Feel the emotions of success as if it's already happened. Picture yourself taking bold action, overcoming challenges, and becoming your ideal self. Do this daily, and you'll see your life shift toward your vision. The power of visualization lies in clarity. The clearer and more specific your images, the stronger the impact. Don't just imagine a general goal. Visualize the exact moment, feeling, and outcome. If you want to be fit, picture the workouts, the energy, the self-pride. If you want to lead a business, visualize the meetings, the momentum, and the difference you're making. Also, pair your visualizations with belief. If you imagine something but secretly doubt it, your mind will reject it. Strengthen it by adding affirmations like, "I am creating this," or "This belongs to me." The more belief you bring to your vision, the more real it becomes. Visualization isn't only about seeing success, it's about becoming the person who naturally creates it. When you visualize daily, you reshape your identity. You shift from wishing for outcomes to expecting them. And expectations change everything. They influence your mindset, your confidence, your behavior. Successful people don't wait for success. They imagine it, feel it, and then make it real. If you condition your mind daily with visualized success, you set the course for it to manifest. Finally, take massive action. Mindset, affirmations, and visualization are powerful, but without action, they're just ideas. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never start. They wait until everything feels perfect, until they have enough knowledge, support, or confidence. But momentum comes from movement. Confidence is built through doing. The fastest way to change your life is to take decisive, committed action. Massive action doesn't mean doing a little here and there. It means diving in fully, refusing to settle, and pushing past your comfort zone. Many people take hesitant steps, testing the waters, then backing out at the first sign of difficulty. But real success comes from consistent, relentless effort. It's built on persistence, resilience, and the willingness to keep adjusting until results come. Don't wait to feel ready. You gain clarity through experience, not overthinking. If you want transformation, start now. Take the first step, because the path becomes clearer only when you begin walking it. Fear holds many people back. Fear of failure, of judgment, of uncertainty. But fear isn't a wall, it's a signal. And the only way past it is through it. When you act in the face of fear, you become stronger. When you move despite doubt, you build resilience. Every bold action confirms your strength and chips away at hesitation. Set deadlines. A goal without a deadline is a dream with no urgency. When you give yourself a time frame, you force yourself to act. You stop stalling and start moving, and track your progress. What you measure, you can improve. Progress fuels motivation, and motivation leads to more action. Surround yourself with action takers. If you're around people who constantly hesitate or make excuses, that mindset spreads. But when you're with people who take initiative, their energy pushes you forward. Be around people who raise your standards. And remember, taking action also shapes your identity. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you're a person who gets things done. You stop hoping and start knowing. You stop seeing success as something reserved for other people and begin to recognize it as something you actively create. Your mind adjusts to the intensity and consistency of the action you take. When you regularly take bold, decisive steps, you teach yourself to expect positive outcomes. Make a firm commitment to becoming someone who takes action. Choose to stop waiting, stop second guessing, and stop overanalyzing. Take the first step, then the next. Push beyond fear, make adjustments when necessary, and continue moving forward. Those who act with consistency and intensity are the ones who generate the greatest results. If you want an exceptional life, you must take exceptional action. This begins by reprogramming your identity. Your identity is the root of all your behavior. How you perceive yourself directly impacts the choices you make, the standards you uphold, and the results you achieve. Many people attempt to change their goals, habits, or mindset, yet fail to address the deeper issue, how they see themselves. Without shifting identity, even the best strategies won't stick. Real, lasting change begins when you redefine who you are at the core. Your identity is shaped by your beliefs about yourself. If you see yourself as someone who procrastinates, you'll act accordingly. If you believe you're focused and determined, your actions will reflect that. Your brain constantly works to remain consistent with your self-image. That's why many people find lasting change so difficult. They try to adopt new habits without first changing the person they believe themselves to be. The solution is to intentionally redefine your identity. Decide who you want to become, and then reinforce that version of yourself every single day. Instead of focusing only on your goals, concentrate on becoming the person who naturally achieves those goals. If your goal is to become physically fit, don't just plan workouts, see yourself as someone who never skips them. If your aim is to be successful, don't just chase success, become someone who operates with excellence and discipline every day. One of the most effective ways to shift your identity is by changing your language. The words you use reinforce your beliefs. Replace "I'm trying" with "I am." Trade "I hope" for "I decide." Speak in a way that supports the version of yourself you're stepping into. Your subconscious hears everything you say. Make sure your words reflect your desired reality. Another essential element is evidence. Your brain needs confirmation to fully believe in a new identity. Each time you take an action aligned with your upgraded self-image, you strengthen that belief. Want to be confident? Take actions a confident person would take. Want to be more disciplined? Follow through on tasks even when it's uncomfortable. With every consistent action, you give your brain more reason to believe in the identity. Visualization is also a powerful tool in this transformation. See yourself as the person you're becoming. Feel what it's like to already be that version of you. The more clearly and emotionally you visualize your ideal self, the more your subconscious begins to accept it as real. When this vision becomes familiar, your actions start to align naturally with who you imagine yourself to be. Your environment also plays a key role. If you're surrounded by people or situations that reinforce your old patterns, it's harder to evolve. Upgrade your environment so it supports your growth. Surround yourself with individuals who live out the traits you want to develop. Adjust your daily routines, your workspace, and the media you consume to reinforce your new identity. Repetition is essential. You can't say something once and expect it to reshape your life. You must remind yourself regularly of who you are becoming. Your actions, your surroundings, and your thoughts must all reflect that new identity. Reinforce your vision consistently, daily. Take action that supports your transformation. Immerse yourself in environments, habits, and language that align with your future self. Do this consistently, and your identity will shift. And when that change happens at the core level, every aspect of your life begins to reflect it. Let me tell you this, nothing will change until you take action. You can be inspired, equipped with knowledge, and filled with ideas, but without action, none of it matters. Execution is what separates transformation from theory. You have to step into the challenge, push past your fears, and do the work of rebuilding your identity. The most powerful part, you don't have to wait. You don't need approval. You don't need conditions to be perfect. All you need is a decision and a willingness to act. This is your opportunity. This is your time. Master your mind and you will master your life. And now the choice is yours. You can let this moment pass like every other, or you can decide that today is the day you take full control of your mind and your life. Reprogramming your thoughts isn't about waiting for the perfect time. It's about acting with intention right now, because the future doesn't belong to those who hesitate. It belongs to those who decide. So if this message lit a fire within you, don't just watch, engage. Drop a comment below and tell me what you're committed to changing today. Hit that like button if this spoke to you, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a moment of growth, clarity, and power. This is just the beginning, and I promise you the best is yet to come.